ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It's time to go. Get your weekend ready. It's Friday, December 8th. The Drive begins right now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. My name is Paul Swann. For the next hour, we're going to get your text in at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255, as we talk about things that you enjoy most and sometimes you don't enjoy. And, of course, we're talking about Marshall athletics, among other things. It's been a little quieter today than it has been over the last few days. We've had a lot to talk about, and I know I say that. We got a lot to talk about. We do. So let's start in the Sun Belt. And this has been an interesting day because Tulane's head coach is now Troy's former head coach, John Summerall. He is taking the job at Tulane. So you lose a coach from the back-to-back Sun Belt champions to what you thought was maybe a peer institution, because the American is supposedly a peer conference on the same level as the Sun Belt. You brand yourself as the best G5 conference. You brand yourself as the best G5 division. Of course, Troy being in the West is not in that branding. But still, you get my point. The whole messaging here is that this is the best. This is the best group of five conference in football. And then you lose a coach to a peer institution. Here's the thing, though. Tulane is going to be able to spend more money than Troy. Tulane is going to be able to spend more money, outspend anyone in the conference. And that's the thing. You have a great collection of schools that have come together to form, I think, a really good, a really competitive conference. And yet, you might not be at that level much longer because there are going to be others that will be able to outspend you. And I think the American is a good example of institutions that, maybe can just outspend their way into this situation. They can just throw more money at it. But that's a huge loss for Troy. Troy's a good program. Tulane is definitely an up-and-coming program. I know it's kind of hard for me to say up-and-coming program. They are becoming a legitimate contending program on a yearly basis. The American thankfully has Tulane. Tulane might benefit more for being in the American right now than trying to make that jump to the Big 12 or a other like league. I think Tulane just does what Tulane does right now in the American and keep that rolling. So that was interesting today. And the other thing that was interesting, and we're going to get into more what's happening with Marshall specifically. But the other thing that was interesting, I read a story, USA Today, and it highlighted the biggest surprises and the biggest disappointments in each conference. So I went down and found the Sun Belt. This is USA Today. Coach of the Year in the Sun Belt, according to USA Today, is Curt Cignetti, James Madison. Of course. Heck of a coach. Did an outstanding job at James Madison. Put James Madison in a position to hopefully, if you're a James Madison supporter, be successful for years to come in football. Right now, James Madison is the biggest winner in the move to the Sun Belt in football and basketball. Biggest winner. Biggest surprise, Texas State. That's a program I didn't give much of a thought to. I'm not saying it's a bad program, it's just I didn't think Texas State would be as good. And here they are. That's a program that has an upward trajectory right now. Biggest disappointment, I think you know where we're going with this. Marshall. Here's the blurb that the story gave Marshall. Marshall still got to a bowl game, but finished in a three-way tie for last in the East Division, falling short of expectations. Three-way tie, last East Division, falling short of expectations is what USA Today said. That's not where we thought Marshall would be early on in the year, right? Thought Marshall would be a contender. You were hoping that Marshall would be a contender, and the season's been disappointing. Now, Marshall is going to a bowl game. It's going to take on UTSA. It's going to be in the Frisco Bowl, Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl. And I know there are some, even some in the media, aren't thrilled with the idea of Marshall playing in the Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl. The more I find out about the bowl, or at least the way that they promote the bowl and those people involved market the bowl, I think Marshall's fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be a good game, I hope, with a quality opponent. You got the night to yourself. It might not be the best travel situation for Thundering Herd fans, but you get in a plane, book your flight, get your room, go to Frisco. Not the first time the Herd fans have had travel to Frisco, so it's not all bad. It's not completely bad. And Marshall might surprise. Now, we say that Marshall might surprise. And then, of course, we go back to everything that's happened over the last few days. The speculation still continues. And again, it's not official until it's official, so there's nothing to speculate. Will he stay? Will he go? Is coach going to lose his job? Is coach staying? Is he going to resign? Interesting. Put your foil hats on now for a second. Let's get your foil hats on. I'll give you a second. We'll put those on together. Okay. We got our foil hats on. Are we ready to go with this one? Here we are. So today, Marshall Equipment on X, formerly known as Twitter, posted a picture. Those pictures, some bowl patches, and then there was a Charles Huff tag on there as well. Okay. I'm not saying that that's a passive statement, but there's some marketing the bowl. You got Coach Huff's name tag right there. It was a pretty cool piece of artwork. I commend Marshall and their social media teams. They're doing a really good stuff. Anywhere from the NCAA illegal drone flyby to all the marketing materials they're putting on social media. They're doing a really good job of promoting the brand. Okay, this is pretty cool. And you know what? Huff's probably not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Then they take that tweet down. Now, I don't know what the reason is. I don't know reason why that was taken down. That's why I said get your foil tin hats on. We'll put that on right now. Conspiracy theories here. I don't know. There could have been something wrong with the graphic. There could have been something that we didn't catch. There could have been a timing issue that wasn't supposed to go out yet. Or, somebody posted that and they shouldn't have done that. I mean, get your foil tin hats in. We'll talk conspiracy with you. But nothing on that front right now. Nothing on the will he stay, will he go? And, of course, a lot of that's been fabricated rumors right now, speculation. I don't have any basis for that to say, yeah, you know what? It's not looking good for Coach because of statements he made to Channel 13 sports director when it was released that Cam Fancher was entering the transfer portal. And that is what has kicked up this storm as far as his comments regarding NIL and the fact that he was miserable here, that the fans hated him. And all of a sudden, the rumors began. oh, he's going to resign. Oh, they're going to let him go. Maybe they're going to do it after the bowl game. So that's where we're at right now. It's been interesting over the last few years to cover this football team, but these last few days have absolutely been, I don't want to say fun, but it's been, I have not struggled for things to talk about in between the end of the season and the bowl game because of what has been happening. And a lot of it's because of social media. Social media is driving a lot of this. And, of course, then we got basketball to get into because the Thundering Herd is going to be on the road taking on the Ohio Bobcats tomorrow. Marshall is in the midst of a 4-game losing streak. The Thundering Herd so far has not been able to find its shot. That's the best way to describe it. Marshall just hasn't been able to find its shot. The Herd is shooting 39.7% from the field. And Marshall's got to play Ohio. The Bobcats are not terrible. They're 5-3, and they have been traditionally a tough game for the Thundering Herd. It's a good rivalry. I like it. I really like the rivalry. I think every year Marshall needs to play Ohio. Completely. It's a good regional rivalry. Now, is it Marshall's biggest rival? Some might say yes, others might say no. And honestly, I think if Marshall was in the same conference as Ohio, it still wouldn't be the biggest rivalry for Ohio because Miami of Ohio is Ohio's biggest rivalry game, or at least that's what I've been told. But it's a nice rivalry. It's like the Morehead State game. It's not the biggest rival, but it's a nice rivalry game. It's a regional rival. Because Marshall doesn't have true traditional rivalries. They're building some, like Appalachian State, for example. So we've got this. But what Marshall fans have is a list of teams that Marshall fans hate to lose to. And Miami of Ohio is on that list. Ohio's on that list. I'm sure Toledo is on that list as well. It's not so much as a rivalry. It's like hate losing to those guys, which might be the definition of a rivalry for a lot of people. So we've got that to get into. And, of course, we're going to open up the text line this hour. I have not forgotten. We'll do that now. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Where are you at here a couple of days after everything has gone down? Have you come back down a little bit? You feel like, okay, things are going to be all right. Let's get behind this football team. Let's go win this bowl game. Sometimes things get said. Not a good look, but let's get behind this team. Are we there? Let's get behind basketball. Let's support the Herd. Sure, it's a 4-game losing streak in basketball, but we've seen worse, right? Marshall can get through it. Let's get behind the Herd. Root the Herd on to win against the Ohio Bobcats. How many Herd fans are going up is the question. I look forward to seeing that tomorrow. See how many Herd fans making the trip. I mean, it's not a bad trip. It's never been a bad trip to go to Athens to watch Marshall playing football or basketball. And I love the Convocation Center. Absolutely love the Convocation Center. And it's in great shape. I wonder if they could ever spend more money to maybe upgrade it some more because it's a great design. It's a great look. I wish Marshall's Henderson Center was more of that roundhouse style of arena. But it's a great place to watch a basketball game. I've gone up before years ago to watch games when I had a schedule that I could just go, I could take off and I can go watch a game. And I would go up. I even went up to watch Ohio play West Virginia one year. You know, the Bobcats won that one, I believe. And that was a fun game to go to. I mean, I love the Convocation Center. I've watched some high school games up there. They got a great arena. And it should be a fun place to go watch the Herd tomorrow. If you haven't been to Athens to go see a game, you should do it. You should go at least once. It's a fun atmosphere. I like the Herd playing the Bobcats. I really do. Toledo, on the other hand, sure, I'm down with it, but it's not a game that I would road trip to. I would not road trip to Toledo. Yes, it's Herd basketball. No, I'm not road tripping to Toledo. I'm listening to that one on the radio only game. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That is our text line to be a part of today's edition of The Drive. We will get your text in, get you set for the weekend. Where are we at with the Thundering Herd on the basketball side? Is it time for the Herd to turn it around and you're ready for it? And where are we at with football right now? We calmed down. We've gotten past the whole band issue. We've gotten past, hopefully, Coach Huff and his comments to reporters about transfer portal players. We're moving past the rumors that Grant Wells is going to come back riding in on his white horse to save the day as the Herd's quarterback. He's going to come back. He's going to be the Herd's quarterback. I've heard that. And that's the thing. I've had to answer some of those questions with people I know and work with. Like, hey, Paul, I heard this. Yeah, you cover the sports. Yeah. I heard that Grant Wells is coming back. No, he's not coming back. Text line 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. It's a Friday. The texts are starting to show that. Texter asks, do you think that Godzilla could beat Toledo? Well, let's logically think this out. Godzilla is a force of nature, and Toledo is – are we talking about the city Toledo, or are we talking about the Toledo Rockets? If it's the city of Toledo, hands down and feet down too, it's Godzilla. If it's the Toledo Rockets, what kind of rocket is a Toledo rocket? What's in the Toledo rocket? How fast can the Toledo rocket go? How much firepower does that Toledo rocket have? And I think the answer in both cases is no. I don't think that Toledo wins that matchup. Obviously, it's Friday, and you guys are showing it and feeling it. So, yes, let's have some fun. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Yes, I would pick Godzilla over Toledo. I mean, come on. It's Toledo. It's easy to stomp on. It's a city. He's an irradiated thunder lizard. The only chance that Toledo has of being a rocket is flying away. All right, we'll get some more of your texts in. We'll entertain those, and we'll get some serious texts in as well. This is The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
You just can't stop once you've tried Scraggle Pop. Scraggle Pop kettle corn has become a favorite snack throughout the tri-state area, and they are now expanding beyond. This Christmas season, come visit Scraggle Pop at the Huntington Mall, the Ashland Town Center, Food Fair, and a number of great tri-state retailers. They have an assortment of delicious flavors like cinnamon, caramel, Chicago blend, and of course the original blend of kettle corn that started it all. Grab your favorite kettle corn blend along with a frozen sweet tea, lemonade, or hot apple cider. Take home a beautiful Christmas tin for yourself or as a gift for family and friends. Scraggle Pop also offers many sports team tins for the sports fan in your life. So check them out today at the Huntington Mall or the Ashland Town Center. Scraggle Pop now ships nationwide. Visit their website at scragglepop.com to send your loved ones a tin of their favorite flavor. You just can't stop once you've tried Scraggle Pop. ScragglePopKettlecorn.com.
Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with kids, finances, insurance, and life? Well, let your State Farm agent help you simplify and get to a better state. With State Farm handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40%. Help you get ahead. Call an agent today and get to a better state with State Farm. In Huntington, John Garton, 304-525-1116. In Barbersville, Marcia Slater, 304-736-6100. And in Cerrito, Aaron Billups, 304-453-4600.
Get the tire that will see you through the cold and then some. The Michelin Cross Climate 2 tire handles snow with confidence. Sure, but it also outperforms competitors in dry or wet conditions all year round, even when worn. The long-lasting all-season Michelin Cross Climate 2 tire, because winter doesn't last forever. TikTok Tire, 3rd Avenue in Huntington, across from Joan C. Edwards Stadium, has the right set of Michelin tires for whatever you drive. See michelinman.com/auto/deals, promotions and rebates for complete details. Offer expires 12/5/23. Void where prohibited.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, and baked lasagna. Giovanni's has the best sandwiches around, from the stromboli, Italian sub, calzones, and their signature Big Red. All dinners will be served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's Pizza, fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
This Christmas, let's remember those who stand guard far from home, protecting our freedoms. Operation Soldiers Christmas gathers care packages for heroes around the world. Your contributions bring joy and comfort to those in service and make their holidays a little brighter. Donations for Operation Soldiers Christmas can be made at Clark's Pump and Shop, Members Choice Credit Union, Food Fair locations, Kentucky Farm Bureau of Grace, and Guardian Animal Medical Center. Drop-off addresses can be found online at kindredcom.net. Operation Soldiers Christmas sponsored by Thornhill Auto Group, Jason Elkins State Farm, Poppy's Pizza, First National Bank of Grayson, Gomart, Habitat for Humanity Restore, Bear Arms Indoor Range, Bombshells and Ales, Sal's Italian Eatery, Nice Street Diner, Dawson Thompson Oil, Mark Porter Auto Group, Young Signs, and veteran-owned and operated Paradise Pools and Spas in Flatwoods, Kentucky. Let's do something nice for our soldiers and show them how much we care by sending them a little back home. Operation Soldiers Christmas.
Hey, Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. If you're a sports fan, we have what you need. From the NFL, NBA, NCAA basketball, to college football bowl games and the national championship. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials we have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check us out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to this Friday edition of the show. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Thanks for tuning in. It is The Drive. Text line is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Back to the text line. We've been talking about Marshall's matchup against the Bobcats coming up tomorrow at the Convocation Center. Texter writes in and says the Combo is a fun arena, and I'm headed to the game tomorrow and hope to see a Herd victory. I feel this is a friendly rival. We should still play them in football. I agree. Marshall should play Ohio in football. Do you schedule the Marshall-Ohio game every year if you possibly could? If you have an opportunity to schedule that every year, do you schedule that game? Honestly, if you could say, look, we're going to play one rivalry game every year, non-conference rivalry game, which game would it be? Would it be Ohio? Would you schedule someone else? I'll open that up for you. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's the number to be a part of the program. Is there a game that you would like to see on the schedule every year as an annual game? And I know that's kind of hard to do. If you look at Marshall's future non-conference opponents, right now the schedule in 2024 looks like this. Stony Brook at Virginia Tech, at Ohio State, and then Western Michigan to be announced. 2025, Army, East Carolina, at Middle Tennessee. 2026, at Penn State, Middle Tennessee, at Army. Ohio is back on the schedule in 2027. That game will be at Ohio. Then you have Boise State and Bowling Green. Bowling Green game is scheduled for Huntington in 2027, so it should be, hopefully, a win. I know we're looking far ahead here, but it's not at Bowling Green, so it should be at least a chance for a Herd win. 2028, Ohio. 2029, at Ohio. So that game's coming back in the future. We're several years away from it. But once that series begins again in 2027, would you like to see Ohio on the schedule every year? Could Ohio be that team to be on the schedule every year? Or is it one of those rivalries where you like playing them in football, you don't want to see them every single year, but you like playing them? But in basketball, I absolutely feel that's the game that has to happen every year. Texture says, Bowling Green, we owe them. Try to tell Coach Huff. I was there. I was sitting right next to Woody Woodrum. He tried to tell him. in that presser. This was right after Marshall beats Notre Dame, and there's Woody Woodrum, my friend Woody Woodrum, who hasn't been to many pressers since, but he was at that one, asked the question about Bowling Green, and pointed out that Marshall's had some historically difficult times against Bowling Green, and I don't think Coach was hearing that. And I'm sitting there at the time, I'm like looking like, yeah, I'm not associated with him. No, Coach, I don't know him. Yeah, no. Like, no, I can't believe he asked that. No, you know what? In hindsight, I'm glad he asked that. That was a perfect question to ask because Marshall has had some horrendous times in Bowling Green. I've been to a few of those games where Marshall's had some horrendous times in Bowling Green. And to be fair, I would love to see Marshall play Bowling Green on the regular. Not every year, but on the regular, I would like to see that game because, one, I always had a good experience in Bowling Green. I've always had a good experience with that athletic department and that program. And honestly, it's not a terrible series to have. Back to our text line. Yes, Marshall should play Ohio in all sports every year. Great rivalry, close proximity, high number in attendance. Play them in soccer. Play them in anything that you can put them on the schedule for. I'm here for it. Because it's close by, that's true. Fans can get to that. So you could have every year on the schedule, you should always have baseball, basketball. Those are the men's sports you can have. Baseball, basketball, and football. There's golf. It's really not that type of situation. You can work with them in golf. Cross country, you can invite them. You can go to their events. Wrestling, Marshall doesn't have wrestling, and that's something that I would love to see rectified here in the future. In women's sports, you definitely want to play them in basketball. You definitely want to be involved with them in cross country. And women's golf, absolutely. Women's soccer, absolutely. Softball, absolutely. Swimming and diving, absolutely. Track and field, yes, do it. Volleyball, yes, do it. Should play them in all those sports. The big one on the men's side, probably basketball more so than football. Which one is it bigger? Is the basketball rivalry bigger than the football rivalry? I think that's a good question to ask. Which rivalry is bigger, the basketball rivalry or the football rivalry? Or does it matter? Is it a just Ohio rivalry? And the fun thing about this is I work with people who went to Ohio. I know people who went to Ohio. It's fun because they'll tell me how great Ohio is, and I'll tell them how wrong they are. And then when Marshall beats them, I can back that up. And when Marshall loses, I have to take it and listen to it. So Marshall, please don't lose tomorrow. But which is the bigger rivalry, Ohio and basketball or Ohio and football? I would say basketball. The football side of things I don't think is as big as it used to be, only because the schools don't play as much in football. But again, there's a rivalry game there. It's the battle for the bell. There's a trophy being offered. I wonder if you should do that in basketball. There should be a trophy offered in the basketball series. I think that'd be cool. Traveling trophy for basketball. I don't think that anything like that exists for too many of Marshall's teams already. So having a trophy game is always fun. You play for something. It's a trophy between two teams. It's always fun to play for the trophy between two teams, traveling trophy. I think it'd be great to have a traveling trophy for basketball. Let's come up with something other than a bell, though. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Bull riding, the perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. The Pendleton Whiskey Velocity Tour bucks into town with PBR Charleston at Charleston Coliseum, January 12th and 13th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin.
Check out Working Man Store in Huntington, the biggest inventory of scrubs in West Virginia, featuring brands such as Med Couture, Infinity, Dickies, and Cherokee at the best price. Working Man Store has one of the largest selections of big and tall shirts, jackets, and jeans in the area. Working Man Store is the king of blue jeans with Levi's, Dickies, Carhartt, Lee, and Wranglers in sizes up to 72. And Working Man Store has the best selection of men's work boots and casual shoes anywhere at the best price. Working Man Store, open every day at 145th Avenue Avenue, Huntington.
Hey, Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. If you're a sports fan, we have what you need. From the NFL, NBA, NCAA basketball, to college football bowl games and the national championship. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials we have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check us out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the Tri-State. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
GoMart. Go for good times. Go for GoMart. Kentucky Farmers Bank. The Better Bank in Summit, Ashland, Catlettsburg, and Louisa. Acme Drug Testing in Ashland, Kentucky. With court-approved DNA paternity testing. 606-324-0404.
Cut down on heating bills with a central boiler outdoor wood furnace. Heat multiple buildings, pools, and hot tubs, all with one furnace. And get unlimited hot water. Come to Altizer Farm Supply and see the central boiler outdoor wood furnaces at 585 Centerpoint Road in Thurman, Ohio. 740-245-5193.
Expand your tool set with professional power tools from Menards. Metabo represents the gold standard in nailers and cordless power tools. Whether you're at home or on the job site, tackle any building project with Metabo. Power tools make great gifts. Grab the cordless 18-gauge brad nailer, ideal for trim work and molding installation. Now on sale for $199.99. Sale price good through December 11th. Plus, a Menards gift card is always a great gift idea.
Charlie died after taking a single pill that turned out to be counterfeit.
He was having back issues, and it was a counterfeit poisonous pill.
Websites and social media selling fake medicines may look legitimate, but they're not. Drugs from these rogue pharmacies could have fillers like sawdust or deadly fentanyl.
He died in less than 15 minutes after taking the pill.
Now there's a free tool that can give you peace of mind. At safe.pharmacy, enter the pharmacy web address, and you'll know if the site you're using is safe.
If you're not getting your prescriptions from a legitimate source, that next dose you take could be your last.
We just don't want other people to go through what we're going through. It's just horrific.
Go to safe.pharmacy. Find out about fake medicine on social media and if the site you're buying from is safe.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Our text line is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We've been talking about the Marshall, Ohio rivalry, the Thundering Herd in Athens. Tomorrow, the Convocation Center to watch the Herd hopefully get off that 4-game losing streak and at the same time beat one of its older rivals and the Ohio Bobcats. We've been talking about which teams should be on the schedule more often as far as rivalry games are concerned. Texter writes in and says that they miss playing Western Kentucky. Yeah, that turned into something, didn't it? That absolutely turned into something, not only in basketball, but as football as well. And that's one of the few things that I do hate about Marshall getting into the Sun Belt is the fact that you don't have the opportunities to see Western Kentucky as much, especially in football or basketball. The other sports, you can make that happen. But Western would have been a good fit in the MAC, I would think, but Middle Tennessee didn't want to go along with that. And that could have opened up some scheduling opportunities for some of the other sports, more so maybe with basketball. If you're playing Marshall, then you can go and play maybe Ohio. I don't know. You could still do something like that. But I think basketball hopefully will resume more frequently football. I don't know when we're going to see that again. Middle Tennessee's on the schedule, though. Who would have thought? If you're going to schedule a team out of Conference USA, it would be Middle Tennessee. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter says, to all our fans whining about our bowl game being too far, they can go to you know where. I'm going to Texas. Go Herd. And the texter is Davy Crockett, who is the West End Cowboy. It's Frisco. It's Texas. Her fans have been there before. You know how to get to Frisco. I know it's a weeknight. I get that observation that was made earlier. It's a weeknight. It's a flight to Texas. Would you be complaining? What if Marshall got into a New Year's Six bowl? Would you be complaining about the distance then? Honestly. A few years ago, certain members of the media were lobbying for a game to be played in Texas. Higher profile opponent was, I think, the argument here. It's a bowl game. It's an exhibition game. The only bowl games that have any true consequences are the playoff bowls, because those are for the college football playoff national championship. That's a 4-team tournament. And then you got the New Year's Six bowls, which are big money bowls. Everything else, they're meaningful. Bowls are meaningful. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that for those kids who are taking that opportunity to go to the bowl, to play in the bowl, that it's not meaningful. It's meaningful. I think there are too many bowls, but at the same time, I've always qualified that by saying, yeah, I think there are too many bowls. But to a kid that's going to go to Frisco, Texas to play in that football game and have a good time, have fun, enjoy your experience. Try to win the game, try to do the very best you can. Have fun, enjoy the experience. It's an opportunity that you might not see again. You might not get that opportunity to play in a bowl game. And so enjoy the experience. Enjoy the bowl swag. That's part of it. You get an experience. You get bowl swag. They treat the kids right. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know that much about Scooter's Coffee, but I'm learning because they have been really aggressive as far as putting out the word about what they are and what they do. And I'm not going to lie to you. First time a bowl was offered to send me bowl swag, seriously, and I'm not going to turn that down. That's the first time a bowl has offered to send bowl swag. Just hey, here's who we are. I got a nice little press kit along with it, just a little one-sheeter, some information. I got some nice little things. Nothing that's it's not like a brand new car or anything, but I got some branded gear, some stickers. Just a little hey, thanks for covering us. Here's what we're about. Here's what the game is about. Here's some coffee to try. It was really cool. And you know what that means to me? That means that this sponsor is actually into this bowl game, and they get it. They want to push this game. They want to market this game. They want to reach out and talk about this game, and they want to make sure that this sponsorship is worth something, so they're not just loaning their brand to the bowl. They're actually taking ownership of the partnership. It's really cool. When you get sponsors that tag their product onto a bowl game, sometimes you see a promotional effort from that brand. Sometimes you don't. Scooter's Coffee, they're in to the Frisco Bowl. Honestly, not everybody can travel to the bowl if it was closer. That's the thing. Not everyone can travel. Now, you hope that you can, and you hope that you can go to the bowl. And for some people, maybe you plan next year. You plan ahead. When you go to the bowl game, you plan ahead. It's like going to Disney. You just don't pick up and go unless you can pick up and go. But you plan ahead. Like, okay, here are some of my options here. And, okay, here's what this might cost logistically. And if you can't, that's fine. I get it. I understand it. You like to maybe be able to go to a game you can drive to, and that's good. And I get that and understand that too. But you're not going to have that opportunity every year. So, unfortunately, sometimes you might have to take a flight. Other times you can drive down. But it's a different bowl. Marshall is playing a different game against an opponent that it hasn't really played that much against. So it's not as if, we're playing them again. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More coming up on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-613-7356 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-613-7356. That's 800-613-7356. What do you have to lose? Call 800-613-7356. Again, 800-613-7356.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118. Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavallette. We look forward to bringing the residents of Wayne County a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, community involvement, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com. Equal housing lender. Member NCUA.
All Glockner locations are spreading holiday cheer during our annual Small Town Christmas Sales Event. We have the vehicles that will make your holidays merry and bright with the season's lowest live market prices. Glockner is making this season truly magical by offering the fastest, most transparent 5-star customer experience for you. And because we love our small town community, we're offering our biggest trade values. Let's make this a small town Christmas to remember.
We make it easy at Glockner.com.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com. Kindred Digital Sports is proud to bring you the Marshall Orthopedics High School Basketball Showcase, presented by the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute. Friday night, December the 8th at 7 p.m., watch live HD video of the Cabell Midland Lady Knights as they host the Musselman Applemen. Watch live on this station's Facebook page or website and on the Cabell County Schools Facebook page. Musselman versus Cabell Midland, Friday night. It's the Marshall Orthopedics High School Basketball Showcase, fueled by your neighborhood Parmar stores.
In honor of all those we've lost to cancer and those still fighting and thriving, like basketball analyst and cancer champion Dick Vitale.
I want to beat cancer. I'm going to beat it. That's no doubt in my mind. I'm going to win this battle.
Defeating cancer will take all of us. Join our team to help fund game-changing research that saves lives. At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over the odds. V is for victory over health disparities, victory over setbacks, victory over the unknown. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Join the V Foundation team and help save lives.
Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind, it cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul.
Join our team in the fight against cancer at V.org.
Hi, Mom. Is Claire's birthday party today? Me again, Mom. Where did I put my history book? Hi. Sorry, forgot one last thing. Sometimes it's hard to concentrate. At school, I start looking out the window, and then I forget what I was supposed to be thinking about. I know it seems like I don't care, but I do. It's just difficult for me. Love you, Mom. Bye.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive. Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
We're wrapping up today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Still some time for your text at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Coming up tomorrow, Marshall in action, trying to get rid of that 4-game losing streak and do so. Herd's got to travel to Athens, Ohio to take on the Ohio Bobcats at the Convocation Center. Should be a fun one. I know a lot of Herd fans will be making the trip to see the Herd. Some late afternoon basketball. We go on the air at 3 o'clock with our pregame coverage on 93.7 The Dog and on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. This has been a fun series. Absolutely. This has been a fun series. Now, if you look at this series, it's gone back and forth. It's gone back and forth for years. And Ohio hasn't lost to Marshall inside the Convocation Center since December 4th, 2010. That's a long way to go. Absolutely. Long way to go between wins. So hopefully Herd can go in and get the win. We'll have it for you coming up tomorrow here again on 93.7 The Dog and ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Texter writes in and says, people complain when we play bowls in Detroit that one could drive to. People complain our bowls are small, so don't attend. Then ask why we don't get bigger bowl invitations when we can't even get good attendance for the small bowls. A lot of it has to do with, okay, Marshall fell in the hierarchy. Marshall's 6-6. Marshall's a 6-6 team. And I think some teams fell into different spots, especially with the shakeup at the top, with the playoff and the way that kind of played out. So there was some shifting going on. There's sort of maybe a couple of lists. Okay, if this happens here, then this happens there. I think that's fair to say. At the same time, though, I don't think that looking at this bowl analytically, just take the emotion out of it for a second. This isn't a bad game. It's not a bad game. It's against a good opponent, an opponent that will play well. UTSA has been a program that has been improving in football, and it's going to give Marshall a challenge. It's going to be a real challenging game for the Thundering Herd. Marshall's not going to roll into this game and just roll over UTSA. Marshall's going to have to fight for the win. I think we all understand that. And a few weeks ago, it was got to get the 6 wins to get a bowl bid. Got to get the 6 wins to get a bowl bid. Got to be bowl eligible. Have to do it. And now Marshall's bowl eligible. Okay, this is the bowl you got. Well, that's not good enough. And I don't think all fans are like that. But it's not good enough. I mean, it's a bowl. Coach Huff said it best. We're not bowl snobs. We'll take what we get. We're happy to play. Texter says, we're going back to rivalry games. Which opponents should Herd fans expect or hope to see every year? Texter says, Ohio and Western Kentucky should be every year, and also added Moorhead as well. So in basketball, I think you can make room for Ohio every year. I think you can make room for Western Kentucky if they're willing to play and you're willing to travel to Bowling Green, Kentucky to see Western Kentucky on a yearly basis, or you could have 1 year in Huntington, 1 year in Bowling Green. That's fine. And play Moorhead every year. Moorhead should probably be on the schedule at least every other year, every couple of years. Play them every year. That's fine. Play them every year. And then you schedule around that. You want to try to beef up your schedule a little bit. You schedule around that, but you have a game like Ohio, and you travel. You make that trip. It's easy for the Herd fans to get to. You make that trip to Moorhead. It's easy for Herd fans to get to. Bowling Green, Kentucky, it's a little bit more of a haul, but you can do it. Play that game on a weekend or something. Play that like on a Saturday. Just schedule that so it's easy for both fan bases to go back and forth. And you can play those games. I don't see a problem with that at all. That's going to do it for the Friday edition. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be back with you tomorrow for our pregame coverage. Marshall is taking on Ohio It's Marshall at the Convocation Center. You can listen to it starting at 3 p.m. right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Until then, have a great night, everyone. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Retransmitting on Glorious FM on 94.1 W227BS Huntington. This is 930 WRVC Huntington, celebrating 100 years of broadcasting.